We're back.
Double coverage, double coverage, double coverage.
Mama, we made it.
The network picked us up. We're like established.
We need the signs that says like clap, cheer, laugh.
J-Mac here, D-Mac to the right.
Welcome to Double Coverage.
Mama,
What's
we
up,
made
everybody?
it. Welcome back to another episode of Double Coverage with the McCourty twins. We're still under strict NFL protocol, so me and Dev are still not going to be in close contact. So we're bringing you our podcast in separate homes, virtually, as we always do. So welcome back to the show. As you guys know, you can find our show every single week on NESN. If you miss it there, you can go to YouTube, iTunes, and be able to find our podcast there. And as always, keep up with us on social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at McCourty Twins. And also check out our website, McCourtyTwins.com. Ton of information there, everything we have going on, what we have coming up next, like our virtual event next week, Monday, the 26th at 7 o'clock. We'll be hosting an event where we're going to be talking about sickle cell disease. Me and Dev will be doing a special edition of our Double Coverage podcast. We'll have a few teammates on there to have a little bit of fun as well. So go to McCourtyTwins.com to get all the information on that. D-Mac, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. You're a little long-winded on the intro, but we appreciate it because we got some good things coming up. Let's jump right into it. Not the week we wanted, coming off a couple of up and down weeks with scheduling and everything, and didn't get off to a good start against Denver, and really had to play catch up the whole game. So really not what we're looking for from our team. I think obviously in a game you do some things well, but obviously when you don't win, you don't do other things well. There's still a lot of room for improvement. And I think the biggest takeaway for us going forward is hopefully we can get on the practice field and start to try to improve some of those things and get better right away.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, not making excuses. We got to get back on the field and we got to start to improve. So I think that'll be the number. That's what we take away, I would say, from this game is moving forward. Hey, like we got to do what we need to do outside the building and all those things to make sure we're being as safe as possible, so we give ourselves the opportunity to be able to practice each and every week to continue to build as a team moving forward. You can't just show up on Sunday and think you're going to play well. So we need that time, we need that practice, and we need to keep kind of competing against each other to improve.
And I think you see that because now we're going into week 7, and every week each team gets better. You're seeing improvement from teams. You're seeing, like always in the NFL season, teams start to kind of build up. Some teams go down. It's just how it goes. And you saw that across the league even this weekend, seeing some big wins for teams, seeing Buffalo and Kansas City go out there on Monday on a change schedule, go out there, compete, and then a late game with the Cardinals and the Cowboys going out there competing. The Cardinals playing very well at night. So I think we just got to continue to get better and progress with the season going on. And we've seen some pretty crazy things this past week. Sunday's game, Jets versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins come away with a win, but Marcus Maye comes up with a crazy interception, intercepts the ball on his butt. I've never seen anything
that
like
was
that.
in favor of the Jets. So they can stop talking about Sanchez's butt play and now start talking about Marcus Maye's butt play, an incredible interception. Why not?
No shot. That will not take away from Mark Sanchez, a friend of the show though. So shout out Mark Sanchez.
But definitely an incredible play. Larry Fitzgerald continues to move up in the records in the league, as he seems like he's just going to continue to play forever and just impact the game forever. This is 249 games with a catch, which is just incredible.
But you know the crazy thing when you watch the Cardinals and you watch Fitzgerald play, and I think especially for like people who don't have a huge understanding of the concepts and what goes into the day-to-day game planning of being in a game. You watch the game and it's like a 3rd and 5, and Fitzgerald is just communicating back and forth with his quarterback. He's talking to him. He's talking to Kyler Murray like, hey, look, this guy's coming, adjusting. And they're sitting there for probably about 10 seconds, and he's communicating, snap of the ball. Fitzgerald cuts his route off, turns around, gets a dart thrown to him, falls forward, 6-yard gain, first down. And you saw it earlier this season, a 2-minute drive. He takes the ball from Hopkins after a catch, sprints in, gives it to the ref. They're able to spike the ball. So not only his physical attributes of, still playing in this game, 249 games with a catch, but also mentally how locked in he is every week, and then how much better he makes the offense by just having him on the field. I think it's incredible And it's great for all young players to go out there and just watch Fitzgerald play the game of football.
Without a doubt, from 249 games with a catch for Fitzgerald, moving on to 250 pounds of running back in Derrick Henry, who continues to somehow come up with these 90-plus yard runs that he has. Another incredible one versus Houston. I got a chance to play with this guy for a season. I remember when he first walked into the meeting room, one of our safeties was sitting in one of our safety seats, and he was a rookie, so he was like, "Hey man, that's my seat," politely. And D. Hen stood up, and I remember we both was just like, he looked like a defensive end out there. And I mean, he's just continued to kill it, man. Whether he's catching the ball out the back or he's getting a handoff, the guy's 250 yards and is running and beating DBs to the end zone. So another incredible play by Derrick Henry, man, this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the next gen stats was once he hit that second gear and took off to the end zone. And sticking in running back news, Le'Veon Bell released from the Jets. Yeah, I mean, I guess that still sounds kind of crazy. And signs with the Kansas City Chiefs. So he takes an offense that is full of talent. They find a great rookie running back and Edwards-Helaire, and now they add Le'Veon Bell to a very explosive offense. So like I said, you watched them beat a very good Buffalo team Monday night, and now the next time you see them play, they will have Le'Veon Bell on the sideline running the ball as well. So a crazy sight to see in this league, and I'm sure there will be more to come as the trade line comes up in the next couple of weeks.
And what sucks, I think, when football is a game that has a 100% injury rate. You're not going to see anybody out there playing on Sundays that hasn't gone through injuries throughout their career. But this one it's been tough this year. It seems like week after week we're seeing these season-ending injuries, and this week was no different. Taylor Lewan, Devin Bush, both going down with season-ending injuries that are going to keep those guys out. But as always, it's part of the game, and it's that next man up mentality that keeps our game rolling.
Yeah, and I think it sucks to say this, but I think every week to 2 weeks we're going to be bringing this up again. And for the next time we do this show, we have to try to find out, are we seeing players get injured at a higher rate right now, or is it just the big names that we keep seeing get hurt? That is something that we have to look into. But each week you turn on the TV, you just don't like to see this. You don't like to see teams, some of their top players go down for the year, especially you're looking at two of the best football teams in football right now with Pittsburgh and Tennessee playing at a high level. So prayers up for those guys and speedy recovery.
Yeah, definitely. And we have a special guest here for you today, Ja'Whaun Bentley, captain, third-year pro here for us in New England, a guy who's already in his young career contributed a ton to this organization. So, Bent, welcome to the show.
I appreciate the intro. That was probably one of the better intros I've ever had. Appreciate y'all having me, for sure.
We try here, man. We try.
You'll be happy to know we will not talk about how good of a singer you are. Today we left that out, so we're just going to stick to like good, wholesome topics today. First, starting off, what was it like coming back this year? You went from the young guy learning from a bunch of old guys to now the old guy in the room teaching a bunch of young guys. What was that transition like for you?
I mean, it was one big you got to adapt situation. I mean, I kind of came into the system and you learn quickly that you got to adapt to just about everything. So it was just another one of those moments, and I was excited about it. Sometimes you have a lot of different emotions going on, but one of the biggest ones I had was excitement. So I was just excited to get things going, excited to see what the season holds for us, and along with other different things, along with like the society and COVID and things like that. Just another thing to add to the list of just having to adapt.
For sure, man, for sure. Obviously, you're from PG County in Maryland, a county that is known for its sports. Your opinion, who is the best basketball and the best football player to come out of PG County? And obviously, you can't choose yourself for football.
I was hoping you brought this up. Like you said, my area, we known for sports, big time sports, big time basketball, big time football. I would say basketball-wise, you kind of put me in like a little bind because we got so many great players. But I would say you got Victor. I would say Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo has been holding it down for a little minute. He's kind of working his way back. from injury, things like that. Markelle Fultz. I guess I'll throw those two names out there. Football wise, I would say Chase Young. Chase Young he's put together a lot of transitioning from college to the NFL. It's been great to see. And I say that's my present day one. And I reached back in the day. We had Brian Westbrook back in the day. Obviously, I named all DeMatha guys. Shout out to DeMatha. But yeah, we've been holding it down for a minute.
Obviously, you named all the DeMatha guys because you didn't name Kevin Durant for basketball. So I guess you're a little confused. The guy's the MVP, two-time Finals MVP. So I guess we won't hold that too much against you. But I mean, it probably says a lot because you went to Purdue, and we went to Rutgers, and now Big Ten football is coming back. Who does better this year, Purdue or Rutgers? And be honest.
I mean, I have no other. I mean, Purdue definitely doing better than Rutgers. I feel like that's an honest statement. That's an honest statement. I would say Big Ten football in general. I'm excited to get it started. Finally, I know the young guys are kind of were up in the air on it. A lot of them were like a little down about it, but seeing that it's coming back, I see Purdue doing well. We got a lot of good pieces. A lot of young guys. A lot of guys got to kind of get things going. I think Coach Brahma had those guys going. I think Rutgers would struggle, especially if they had Purdue on the schedule. I didn't get a chance to look at the schedule yet, but if Rutgers on there, I'll mark that one off.
The last time we heard Braum, we played Brian Braum in 2006. It was a long night for him. As down goes Louisville, Pandemonium and Piscataway is known as.
It's the past. We living in the past. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I thought we were talking about this season.
And Dev lied about the beginning of the show. We're not going to ask you to sing, but I'm pretty sure you've probably been the best singer on every team you've ever played on. But are you the best singer in your family?
In my family, probably not. I would say as a kid growing up, I really didn't have many options. I kind of grew up in like the church and everything. You were it was that way. You was going to do something in the church. So if you wasn't going to sing, you was going to do this. So I was kind of thrown into the choir. And after a while, you start growing up and you just like, all right, if they're going to make me do this all the time, I could at least be good at it. So I kind of adapted to it. But my mom could sing, my brothers sang. Everybody pretty much sang, but it never really came up to, I would say, I joined the Patriots when I had to sing in front of my teammates and stuff like that. It's a whole different ball game.
Hey, what you got? Halloween 2020, a lot going on. Will you be dressing up? Will you have candy? Like, I don't know if I'm going to take my kids out, but if I do take them out, I know where you live. I know where a couple teammates live. Can I count on my kids coming to your door and getting excited because you got on a costume and candy, or are you going to be boring?
My first year doing the whole candy thing and having the house with candy was last year. Mm-hmm. And it was mainly because y'all was saying that, all right, you better have some candy. I'm walking around. You better have some candy ready. So I went out and brought so much candy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to figure out, I don't know what Halloween hours are. Like, I don't know if, like, how long do the kids come to your house? Is this like the 10 o'clock thing? Like, all right, when is it like, all right, time's up, time to go to bed, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of sitting up, half sleep, trying to figure out, and I end up with so much candy. And obviously I don't throw all the candy away. It's just sitting in my house, just looking at me. So I'm every now and then you're kind of grabbing little pieces and I'm like, all right, maybe I'm not going to buy as much candy this year. So hopefully I'll just buy candy for you guys as kids and any other kids that just linger around. But the whole big candy thing, that's not happening this year. But I'll be in the spirit for sure.
Oh, well, we appreciate that, man. We appreciate you stopping by. You guys, Ja'Whaun Bentley, great leader on the field, a guy who's been outspoken about things going on outside of the field, like social justice and stuff as well. So make sure you guys are following him and learning about his journey and what it's all about. But we'll see you guys right after this short break.
We got the Dan O'Brien Keeping It Awesome moment of the week. J-Mac, what we have for this one?
Yeah, we got a high school kid, junior, and what's the name of the school? Manhattan LREI High School. He's a New Jersey kid, North Jersey, and he came up with this new nonprofit himself. Built it up, thought about it on his own with the digital divide going on. He wanted to be able to supply computers and devices to kids so that they can be able to keep up with the learning. Felt like there was such a disadvantage going on with some kids having, some kids not having. So he came up with Computers for Good. They're collecting computers, they're collecting money to be able to go out and get computers, they're refurbishing them, and they're being able to get them back out to students who need them. And to me, this is just amazing. Obviously, as professional athletes, we talk about ways to give back, and especially during this time period with COVID going on, trying to do things to help our community. Here is a high school kid who's realizing it early on, wants to sustain this thing while he goes to college and keep it going so that he can continue to help his community and be able to help the people around him. So he's the Dan O'Brien Keeping It Awesome Moment of the Week. Congrats, Dylan.
Great work, Dylan. Great work. Next, let's jump right into this. We got fan questions coming up right here, and we'll go right into our first question. Our first question comes from ROK Seal. This is really, I think, a great question. In a hyper-negative world we live in, how do players with older kids deal with sometimes kids talking about their dads in school? What advice do you give for professional athletes who have to deal with this? J-Mac, you want to answer this one first?
Yeah, man, this is a really good question. I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is your kids are gonna know who dad is based upon your experiences and how you are in the home. And I think for me, that's where it starts. Being that fun-loving dad, could be always being able to communicate to him and talk to him. So when they go to school and somebody says, "Hey, dad sucks," I want them to understand that, hey, their worth, my worth is not in a sport, is not in whatever job we choose to do in life, but they'll know, hey, no, my dad is an amazing person. What he does as a father, what he does as a husband, those are the things that I want them to value when they see me. So I think when you go have a conversation with them about maybe somebody saying something about dad, that's the segue into them just understanding that, hey, people aren't always going to like you and they're going to say mean things to you. You have to be able to hear it and let it roll right off your back and continue to move forward.
Dropping gems, J-Mac. Dropping gems.
Man, trying. You got anything to add to that?
No, I can't add to that. That was a great answer. I agree 100% with you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you can answer this next one from Joe V. He said, who was the first pick in sports growing up? Sucks that you got to answer me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say it was J-Mac. He was usually the first pick if people had to choose. But I will say it all catches up to you when it catches up to you. Later in life, he was a 6th-round pick. I was a 1st-round pick. Looks like a lot of people were wrong growing up, in my opinion. Anything to add to that one, buddy?
No, not at all. I was a 203rd pick of the 2009 draft. Still out here playing 12 years later.
We didn't ask all that. Our next question is from Drew Boyle, 23, and the official Cam Newton show. What coverage do you prefer, J-Mac, man or zone?
I think it's a combination of the two. You know, you have to figure out, you got your guys on your team, your secondary linebackers and everybody. You want to figure out what do they do best. Are we more of a man cover team or are we more of a zone cover? And whichever one you do better, you may want to maybe run that a little bit more, but you want to be balanced. You don't want the offense to be able to come out there and say, hey, every down, 1st through 3rd, we know they're going to be in man and we can just run a bunch of man beaters. But you also don't want to be too soft in zone and just give up easy completions throughout the course of a game. So I think being able not only to mix up your man and your zone, but also be able to bring pressure and blitz and be able to spin the dial a little bit and run some different things are what'll make you a really good defense.
So you know me, when I play corner, I'm telling you right away, zone. I want to play zone. I want to look at the quarterback. I want to try to make some interceptions. Now that I'm a safety, spin the dial. Coach, put those corners in man-to-man. Let me roam. Let me be free. But like J-Mac said, I think it is definitely a combination of a bunch of different coverage to make you a really good defense. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us on Double Coverage with the McCourty twins, Devin and Jason McCourty. Let's get this going, man. Who lost the weekend, J-Mac? Who do you think lost the weekend?
The city of Atlanta. Atlanta Braves up 3-1. The Dodgers come back, and they win the series. Now, Atlanta's dealing with, I saw the Falcons tweet it out, we know. Atlanta has become the city of letting it fall and slip through your hands. So the whole city of Atlanta lost the weekend.
And who won the weekend? Kobe Bryant's legacy continues to go on and on and on. At the Smithsonian African American History and Culture His jersey, Game 5 of the 2008 Finals, will be displayed there, and it's just to show his greatness and dominance. It's just great to see as the year goes by. We all miss Kobe Bryant, but the legacy and his legend continues to go on.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. But we got a game to get ready for this week. The 49ers are coming to town. Jimmy G is returning to Foxborough for the first time, I believe. So going to be a big game coming up for us as we try to get back on the right track.
It's not every year that you play the defending Super Bowl champs and the defending NFC champs all in one season. So play Kansas City. Now we're going to play against the 49ers this week coming up. Be a tough physical football game.
Yeah, without a doubt. And as I said in the beginning of the show, coming up Monday, October 26th, me and Dev's live virtual event, a special edition of Double Coverage. Make sure you go to McCourtyTwins.com to get all the info to be involved. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us again.
Hey, J-Mac, you want to go there because you want to see all of the auction items as well. So make sure you go to McCourtyTwins.com.
Without a doubt. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us this week. We'll be back next week right here on NESN, and check us out on YouTube and iTunes as well. See you guys next week.